So, Christ died for me so I can gossip. And Christ died for you so you can lie, right? And so I can have an addiction. That's why Christ died. It sounds wrong and almost blasphemous when we say it like that, but Christians say things like this every day. We typically sugarcoat it a little bit with some of the Christian lingo. It goes a little more like this. I know I shouldn't lie, but it's okay because I live in grace. It's okay. No, it's not okay. My name is Simon Rucker. I'm 18 years old, and I was saved when I was 7. I've been in the Christian community ever since, and the easiest way to observe a group is when you're within. What I found is that the church is no longer under the legalistic terms of the law. That's true. But the church needs to come back to the true meaning of grace and stop using grace as an excuse so that they can sin and do whatever they want. For us to understand grace, we have to understand the difference between grace and the law. We have to understand our need for grace. C.H. Spurgeon once said, "Grace is the soul of the gospel. Without it, the gospel is dead." Now, like I said before, it's true. We're not under the law anymore. That's clearly stated in Romans, especially Romans chapter 6. It's very clear. Paul is very adamant that we are no longer under the law. We're under grace. Bob Deffinbog elaborates on this a little bit and says, "While the law defines righteousness, only grace delivers it. The law was never intended to be a means of obtaining grace. It was given to men to demonstrate that grace was desperately needed." I think it's very clear that we all need grace. See, in Romans 6:14 it says, "For sin shall no longer be your master, because you are not under the law, but under grace." So that's very clear. The Bible outright says it. We're no longer under the law, we're under grace. So it's time to return back to the true meaning of grace. The grace is the foundation of the gospel, and so we should defend it. Jerry Bridges put a definition to grace when he said, "Grace is God's free and unmerited favor shown to guilty sinners who deserve only judgment. It is God reaching downward to people who are in rebellion against Him. We don't deserve grace, therefore we should protect it. We should live it out in our everyday lives, not misrepresent God by showing a false meaning of grace to those around us, especially non-believers. The church needs to stop using grace as an excuse for sin. Paul addresses this idea very directly in Romans 6:1. He talks about, what does he say? He says, should we keep on sinning so that grace may abound? He's very sarcastic here, and then he says, no, we shouldn't. Very resounding no, it's very clear. We shouldn't just sin because we can. John Piper even says, grace is not simply leniency when we have sinned. Grace is the enabling gift of God not to sin. Grace is power, not just pardon. I think that last portion is very important. Grace is power, not just pardon. We have the power. We have all authority and power, in fact, in Jesus Christ, not to sin. But we use this grace as an excuse to sin. And this is an offense to the cross. And it's even an offense to the death of Jesus Christ. We can't use the death of Jesus Christ as an excuse to do whatever we want. So it's time to put away our legalistic ideals. It's time to stop using grace as an excuse to do whatever we want so that we can sin against the God who made us. It's time to come back to the true meaning of grace. Because grace is God's gift and we don't deserve it. We need to strive to be more like Him, and we need to offer an accurate picture of God and His grace to those around us. Once again, my name is Simon Rucker. Thank you.